Hello there, people, and welcome to yet another episode in the Doom WAD playthrough. So, this is going to be an interesting episode, but it will mark a little bit of a different change in the series format. So, as we're doing different things and kind of reaching ahead with different subjects, find out exactly what the plan is, and moving forward from there. Lately, I did a series of three compilations, if you will, all of which can be basically tied together to make one massive megawatt, if you will. But basically, they were the EPIBEST series of EPI 1 through 3 best. Like I said, it was basically, if you will, a test run of it to show kind of how it would work. It was an experimental thing, and it was also pretty significant being the first time that we saw like an actual episode thing outside of Laura Bayer's Doom. But after it, I kind of decided how repetitive it could easily be if we were playing the same levels over and over and over again. So yeah, I've decided in the future to not worry about it in that way, that way is heavily repetitive. So yeah, instead I'm just going to focus on the main Budget Baron series. I'm going to use it as resources to sniff out stuff, if you will. But I'm basically just going to prevent you guys from all the tedium, and instead show you all the good stuff. Because that's what you're here for, right? The good stuff, people. Anyway, what we should talk about today is an interesting level or so. If you may notice, we're going to be playing Legend, which you may recognize as a level we've already played, and a level we've already played in the EPIBEST series. However, the EPIBEST series had a different variation of Legend from the main Budget Baron series. So yes, this is basically to bring closer to it like I did the other ones. The reason why I didn't do it a little bit ago is because the fact that this one's a little bit more of a pain to find. It's not really on the Doomworld archives at all. I've kind of actually expanded my resources, if you will, and so what I should actually mention, one of the main sites or so that's actually very useful for this type of thing is, and probably will be one of the best resources going forward, is going to be the WAD Archive. It's another site or so. The limitation of which, probably the biggest one, is the fact that you have to sign up for it, which isn't exactly the nicest of things. I don't exactly like having to deal with something like that, but it's there, and it has a lot of stuff that I can't really seem to find anywhere else. At least not without like heavy intensive checking. And when there's a nice resource that's just a sign away, yeah, you kind of just sign it so we can actually get all this stuff. It makes for a nice compendium of resources to so. And it's actually a rather nice resource, so it gives you a lot of the stuff that you kind of would be looking for, whatnot. There are some minor flaws or so. Specifically, I have like zero idea when things are made. So it's not really something you want to be using liberally and just like willy-nilly. You don't want to be using it to the expense of everything else, basically. You want to know why you're looking for something, what you're kind of limiting it by, and trying to basically do it within a certain range. You could try and go by timestamps, but there's a major problem. A lot of the reason why these ones aren't on Doomworld or something is because we're not really having like zip files here. No, we're actually having like physical WAD files being like the only files downloaded, and so because of that, we end up kind of like missing stuff or whatnot. Like we're missing a timestamp on this one. So, yeah, I'm kind of have to go with it or whatnot and say, well, let's just kind of go with it. I mean, this one has still a timestamp, so if you will, because the email itself and the README has a timestamp. But, yeah, it definitely is going to show that this area is going to be a bit less intuitive, if you will, than, say, like, the nice side of, like, Doomworld and how it makes it organized after you find what you're looking for. This one kind of gives you what you're looking for, but doesn't exactly give you how to find it, and there's no nice conciseness to it. So like I said, like if you try and type in stuff or so, you'll find like all different things or so that have like no relevance to do with it at all, or things that are like minorly different versions of things, and you have to like try and play detective of what version's what. So yeah, it's not the nicest of resources at all. I wouldn't like recommend just jumping on there and trying to do like any PWAS, so unless you want to do a bunch of random stuff. But if you're trying to do like a nice historical thing or so, it's more a thing if you know what you're looking for to definitely tear apart and to play with. Anyway, I've been saying this redundantly now for a little bit of time, and I probably should be actually getting to the level, which is, of course, Legend, where this is the whole point of this one, is to basically show off Legend, and basically say, as I was saying before, the big change here is compilations in the future are not going to be played. They're going to just be basically levels I jump from, kind of like I'm doing here, but basically this is the side of it, and also kind of covering the levels that changed, if you will. I believe there were 3, if I'm correct, so we're going to tackle all 3, if I'm correct, if I can find them all. Like I said, WAD Archive is a bit funky or whatnot with trying to find things, because you have to dig through a lot of junk versions, so that I really don't want to bother with at the moment. Anyway, let's see what we have here. Okay, Legend, the series. So this is version 1.0. It's basically the earliest version that I know of. And yeah, it was released on April 15th of 1994, which puts it about nearly a month earlier than the final release, the version we saw in the end product. This was made by Tony L. Hayes, and he used DU 5.0 and BSP 1.0. Now, the big difference between this and the final version is that this one only has 2 of the levels. The final version had 3. If you remember in the Readme, he'll have said that he added level 3 because it made it harder than the first 2 because of complaints of these being too easy. So yeah, this is basically your evidence here of these 2 being the first ones in their earlier format when they were too easy, if you will. So yeah, this is the original unmodified version of the first 2 levels that he released to the internet to get the original reviews, and which got the criticism that resulted in the later version down the line. So yeah, here's the earlier version that we've already kind of seen before. As far as I know, the only really big difference is with E1M1. I've kind of already pointed out the differences before, but we're going to play through it again. Like I said, it's kind of that repetition-based thing or whatnot. We have to do it. It's here. It's a thing we had to check out, people. Like, it was sitting here, mostly minding its own business, and I had to come up on it, sneak up, and yell at it, and call it my enemy. And then I took a stab of it. It was a stab for justice. Don't you understand, people? It was justice. So, let's see here. I'm actually curious, like, if E1M2 has any differences whatsoever. Before I actually bother with this, I want to just see if there's any differences at all, because one of the convenient things about this one is that it actually shows me if the map looks any different whatsoever. So I can actually, like, load up the 2 maps and, like, compare the 2 side by side and see if, like, yeah, see, there's, like, some different entity locations. So yeah, there is differences in the entities or so. Not that I would really be aware too much. I don't think the geometry changes really at all. But yeah, there are some minor differences between the 2 versions that we saw. Anyway, I think that really kind of sums it all up here. Unless we really have something else to talk about. And of course, I had to actually shut off the file because I'm proud of myself. But yeah, I think we were pretty much done here anyway. Actually, no, what am I saying? Wait, that's the wrong file. I'm doing great! Yeah, how are you doing? I'm doing great over here. I'm messing up totally. Let's see here. Let's say, he replaces levels 1 and 2. This is a combination PWAD. It contains all of the Legend series levels released to date. When loaded, it replaces Episode 1. This PWAD contains replacements for levels 1 and 2. This episode will be updated with each new level release in the Legend series. Comments are always welcome. Look for level 3 and 1. look for level 3 in 1 to 2 weeks. It took a little bit longer, 1 to 2 weeks, for this thing to come out. I kind of want to say it was about, oh boy, I want to say, what was it, 5/9 or so it came out. This is the 15th, so yeah, it was nearly a full month. So yeah, it took a little bit longer than planned, but that's to be expected with the edit. How do you know when it's going to come out? Edit times usually always end up being longer than originally planned. That's part of the fun! Wait, why am I even bothering with the music? I have no idea! Do I know? Do you know? Does anyone here know? But yeah, this is the original version, people. You can tell majorly the first big difference is the medkits here. The final version just basically had a bunch of stim packs in the starting area, while this one has medkits. That's a big clue that you're playing the right version. If you're playing the older version or the later one. Another clue is the fact that there's only one shotgun guy in the starting corridor, and nothing else really here at all. Yeah, there's very, very little in these corridors. And if you're not being attacked by a giant mob by this point, yeah, you're playing the old version. It's by this point the mob would be attacking me. Now, a big detail difference between the two versions is that, well, this one is a lot tighter. Like, if you look around here, these corridors are very tight and confined. They're very, like, claustrophobic, if you will. The final version is nowhere near this tight at all. It's much wider corridors, like the main one. You know, that's kind of thing. It's actually like the main river out here. It's like this size everywhere. Instead of the tightness that's here. It's rather weird to see it this tight for me, but that's how it was in the original version. Yeah, this version's a lot easier to complete than the actual final version, so we'll just blast through this baby and take out what there is to take out. Hi, I think that imp was stuck. Maybe it's why you widen the corridors. That also might explain why I don't get really mobbed here. But yeah, there was a lot of enemies that like attack you coming through the doors, all that. Nothing's even really around here to greet me. There's like this one enemy standing in that corridor. How anticlimactic. Oh look, a demon! Behind this door is a rocket launcher! Yeah, in the final version, you end up having to go through like a lava-based area to retrieve this, and it's a lot more painful to get. So yeah, this one's a lot easier and a lot nicer to retrieve. And you'll see when we come down here, let me kill all these guys first of all. Can't you see I'm trying to do a series on explaining what the differences are? You're not different, so stop trying to kill me. But you might be a difference, but was there anyone else, or is that everything? Anyway, this is the teleport that leads forward, of course. We don't care about that at the moment. What we care about is here, where there's a chain gun. Fascinating. Because the chain gun in the final version is actually in the final area of the map. Basically, you have to get the red key and then basically go through it in order to get to the chain gun. Yeah, you basically have to go through, get the red key, come back here, and get in there to get the chain gun, which as you see isn't the case here. Oh, and by the way, here's the red key. Yeah, in the final version, it's right next to the rocket launcher, which again is in that damaging 4 sector. So, yeah, everything else basically was pushed a lot earlier in this version. And what's behind door number 2? A plasma gun. That doesn't even exist in the final version of this level. Yeah, we get an extra gun in this version. Talk about being generous. Yeah, in the final version, you get very stretched to the limit in ammo. While this one, you're a lot more god, so that's a big difference. Anyway, here's the painful part. All the enemies attacking you from all different sides. Luckily, we have lots of ammo. Here's me! Okay, that's a couple demons dead. And there's a bear in hell coming my way. I think. Yoo-hoo! Yoo-hoo! Okay, well, there's the plasma cells. I thought there was a mirror hell coming my way. I might be mistaken, people. Apparently, this is a case of mistaken identity. The Baron is not coming this way. Now, there is an interesting thing to note. This is like a damaging 4 sector. This is the damaging sector 4 sector I'm talking about. Over there normally is useful in the final version. It has no use in this one. It's completely empty. You really just want to run over here and here. Also, another significant thing to note. In the final version, there is a secret right down there. You basically go to the end of that area there and spam the wall and it opens. This one is nothing like that. It's just a dead end. So you basically just want to run down, collect these 2 items, and rush back. Yeah, it's a lot simpler than the final version in that regard. Yeah. Okay. Now we have the Cacodemons. Take them all out with shotgun ammo. Oh god! Well, I was walking right into that. I love the unpredictability with Invisible. Come on, diarrhea. Alright, that's one way to kill everything here. Is that a soul sphere? I think it is. Yes, it is. Hooray! I'm alive. Now we come out here, we pick up the yellow key card. This is pretty similar to what you see in the end. Found you! Do I get an award? Okay. Now we return. Wait, I only have the yellow key card. So there's still a couple enemies, as you see. You can do it, buddy. Oh god, this is bad. Might want to just wipe them out. And as you see, that's everything in the map. Now, if you've seen the final version, you'll know this is a rather easy situation. We just picked up the final key and it's already over? Yes, indeed. The final version, there's like a trap that lowers or so, and there's a bunch of cacodemons that spawn in. The situation in which basically wastes all of your ammo, and you're basically resorting to like punching them to beat them all. While here, yeah, it's pretty simple, honestly, to beat them all. It's not really that difficult of a scenario at all. It's kind of really sad, the difference of the two when you think about it. Yeah, because this area missing these enemies makes it rather anticlimactic here. But, yeah. Doom! Doom! Okay, let's play UNM2 while we're here, right? Even though I'm not even sure if there's really a difference between them. I've already played this level from shotgun start or pistol start before, but, well, let's play this version. Even though I don't know what the differences really are, besides the fact that there are some. Just use this as an excuse to get completions quickly. Every other time I've always played pistol start, so it's kill fast and quick and easy. Because I haven't had this ammo ever in this level, so. That's one way I do everything. That's one way to skin a cat. I like skinning cats. What's wrong with you? What, you telling me you don't like skinning cats? Okay, that's one way to kill a demon. Whatever I'm talking about, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Okay, let's go kill some stuff. A hunting we will go. A hunting we will go. God knows where I go. Hunting I will go. Okay, there we are. A bunch of dead things everywhere. Everybody is dead. And then there's this. And then there's Mod. Okay, now we want to return and kick more butt. It's super rapid, fast, happy speed. That's totally a word. You don't believe me? You can check it on Wikipedia. I probably added the article a few seconds ago to make it super happy thing, but the mods probably took it down already. This is one way to fly through the level really fast. Oops! Okay, I hate that teleporter thing. That's the lesson. That teleporter thing really is annoying. Yeah, it makes you go halfway across the map. Now I remember why I hated that teleporter. So yeah, beware the evilness of the teleporter. The teleporter is evil! The teleporter is a sinner. The teleporter must be destroyed. The teleporter wants to make you sin with a jar of marmalade or something like that. That's one way to kill everything. Okay. Thought I heard something, but that was beside the point. I guess it's when everything goes crazy. You start hearing craziness. Yeah, this is one way of making it crazy and fast. Space. As we go, the more rapid it gets. The more rapid it gets, the more violent everywhere. Gratuitous violence. Diary. Okay, that's that. Okay, that was stupid of me. I don't know why I'm doing this, but okay. And there we are. Boom! Doom! Completion! Doom! There we are! And as you see, E1M3 does not exist! So there we are! That's how you do it! 2 levels back to back! Yeah, hooray for redundancy! Anyway, hopefully with this we can actually put this level behind us and finally forget about it for a little bit of time. Because yeah, we played this in many different ways lately. Yeah, this has like been somehow one of the big features. I don't really know why. They're not exactly that great of levels. But that's beside the point. Anyway, thank you very much all for watching. It's been an adventure. And I shall see you all next time!